Hello, teachers and students. This is Mrs. Stockler, and I am going to show you the best way to use Canvas on your classroom iPads. Now, there's two ways to get to your class Canvas account on your iPad. One way is through the Canvas app, and the Canvas app should be on all of your classroom iPads, and it should look just like this. The other way is through Safari, and you can actually log into Canvas through the web. So you need to know how to do it both ways, because there's certain times you're going to want to use Canvas for different things, and you'll need to know which one to go to. So let's start with going through Safari. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And what you'll want to do actually is, teachers, if I were you, a little shortcut is I would have a QR code made for the Canvas site, so that you can just go into your scan there, and when I scan that, it'll take me straight to the Canvas website. Then from there, students can just input their username and password. That'll be a lot easier for them than typing the URL in at the top. And students, that'll be real fast for you. You'll just click that, and then you'll enter your username and password. Now, my friend Ella has let me use her Canvas account to show you so that I can be logged in as a student. So I'm going to go ahead and log in as Ella. Into Canvas. And you'll see now that I'm in, I am in Ella's account through Safari, so through the web. You can see Ella's name right up here, so you know that that's her. Okay, the page that comes up, this page says a whole lot of things on it, and as little kids, there's not a whole lot here that you need to be concerned with. You're going to want to get into the course or the class that your teacher has you in. So you're going to click up here at the top where it says Courses. So if I click on that, you're going to see that Ella just has one course, Second Grade Homeroom. So I'm going to click on Second Grade Homeroom, and when I do, you're going to see that Ella's class comes up, and Mrs. Webster has made a home page with all of the buttons for Ella to click on to get to her things. So over here, you can see a bunch of different words here. This will get you around your Canvas as well. And teachers, those are some big words there, especially for kindergarten and first and second graders. So teachers will help you figure out what you do with each of those. But what you need to think about are these little buttons in the middle of your page. This is going to make it a lot easier for you. You're going to see one that says reading, math. Yours may say some different things on it, and there's going to be a little picture to go with it. So that'll help you know where to go. So if I'm Ella and I need to get into Mrs. Webster's reading page, I'm just going to click on Reading. And you're going to see all of the different lessons there, all the different units that Mrs. Webster has for Ella to do. And what you'll do then, and the teachers will tell you which one you need. So let's say Mrs. Webster says, I need to go to the sequencing one. If I click on that, it's going to take me into something that is called a module. And a module is almost like a book on your computer that you can click through and go through the order of things that your teacher wants you to go in. If you look down here at the bottom, there's this little next button down there. That next button is really important because it helps you flip through your module. Here's the thing, you won't see that next button if you go in through the Canvas app. So if you want to go through your modules, you want to probably do a lot of that through the web, through the Safari. So if you look on here, Mrs. Webster has made some little directions for Ella here to do. She put in a video for her to watch. And then as she finishes up with that activity, she'll just click the next button. And when she does, the next page will load. There we go. And then you can see a little activity that Mrs. Webster wants Ella to do with the story. And if she wants to go back to the first page, watch that video again, she can go to previous. Previous means before. Or to keep going, she'll go to next. So she'll do this activity and then go to next. And then you'll see that Mrs. Webster has put in a quiz for Ella to take. So she'll click here to take the quiz, and that will be her assignment for that. So that's called a module, and that's how you can get through the different things. Remember, if you want to go back, you can just hit that previous button, and that'll get you where you need to go. Okay? So those are the things. You can also get to modules over here on the side. That's this word right here, modules. If you click on that, it's going to look a little different. But when I click on the first box for sequencing, you see it's the exact same thing that I got before, where you can see how Mrs. Webster's expecting Ella to go through the different steps of this assignment. So that is kind of how Canvas would look on through the web. And honestly, if you want to have those next buttons there for you, going in through the web is the best way to do that on your iPad for a module. Okay, I'm going to hit my home button and go back out, and I'm going to show you how this looks a little different through the Canvas app. So I'm going to click on that now. And when I do, you can see all of the people who have been signed in on this iPad. Now, this is very important because once you sign in through the Canvas app, you don't have to sign back out. You can just change users. So right now it's asking me to find my school or district. So the first thing I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to type this in just one time. This is the only time I'll have to do that. That long, yorktown.instructure.com. Uh-oh, just a second. Sorry. And then it's going to let me put in my username and password. So I'm going to put in Ella's again. And remember, you do this one time. So teachers, this is going to take the kids a little bit, but once they're in, then they can just toggle back and forth between users if they share a device. Now I'm going to log in. It says, are you Ella? I'm going to say, yep, for sure. Okay, now you see how this looks a lot different. As soon as it pops up, you can see Ella's courses here. Down at the bottom in red, it says courses, and Ella just has the one, so this is how she would get into her course. So I'm going to click on that. And when it comes up, you're not going to see the home page right away. But watch, when I click the home button here, you're going to see it thinking. So I'm going to click home and see it's thinking, and then Mrs. Webster's home page will pop up. All right, now it looks exactly the same as it did before. So now I'm going to show you how like the module thing's a little bit different. So now if I go into reading here, when I do this, it's going to show the first page, but look, there's no next or home buttons down here at the bottom. So that's going to make modules a little harder on the app. So what you'll do for this one is you'll go over to the side for modules. This is the only one that she has published, so it's the only one that's going to come up. If you click on the top thing then, again, you're still not going to have the next and home buttons, but then you'll just click through and you'll be able to get to all of the different activities in that module from the side. So, and then students can just go back to their home for their courses to that. So modules are just a little bit different. There are some things that are really awesome about the app that you'll want to do. One of those things is discussions. You can run your discussions, and it looks like right now Mrs. Webster doesn't have any discussions, but you can run your discussions through the app, and if you're going to want the students to use the media recorder, that's exactly what you're going to want to do, is run it through there. So again, really your home button, your modules button, so you can see what's module, and if she had a bunch of modules there, you just pick the one you wanted. Also assignments, this is a good tab for assignments. You can see the 2 assignments that Mrs. Webster has put out to her class there. They can get to that way. I want to call your attention down here to the bottom of all of these things down here. This is where the students will find their calendar for their course. You can click on the calendar down here at the bottom, and right now there's nothing set up on here much, but they could get to it that way. They can find their to-do list here. Right now Ella doesn't have anything due, so it's not going to show anything. Notifications, which for our little kids, they're not going to have to deal with a lot of notifications. But then we have messaging, and I do want to show you this. So in here, in the messaging is a way to send a message to your teacher. And so what you can do is you can go in. Uh-oh, lost my air server again. Give me just a second. There we go. Back in the game. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to search for someone. And when I start, if I'm Ella and I want to send a message to Mrs. Webster, I'm just going to start typing her name and look, it pops right up. So then I can just touch that. And now my message is going to go here to Mrs. Webster. And I can type her a message. This is a test message. Tell her that. And then see that little paper clip over here? That's how you can attach something. So if you wanted to send a photo or a video or a project that you created to your teacher this way, this would be the best way to do that. But watch what else you can do. You can also record audio through here. You could also record a video through there. So I can record my voice. Hi, Mrs. Webster. This is Mrs. Stockler, and I am creating a video for students and teachers how to use Canvas. Tell Ella thank you for letting me use her account. And then you just stop when you're done, and you hit use, and you see how the little one went up next to there? That means that would let Mrs. Webster know that there was an audio message there. This is exactly how it's going to work in a discussion as well. So in a discussion, you can do the same thing. So now I'm just going to hit send. And that, see how it was thinking, and now it says message sent. So now that message is going to be able to get to Mrs. Webster from me. So that is the way you would use the Canvas app for a couple of different things. So it's going to take you a while as little kids to become very comfortable using Canvas, but I just wanted to give you a couple of tips for some of the best ways to use Canvas through the web, through Safari, or through the app. So I hope that you found that to be helpful. If you have any questions, your teachers can help you as well. They've been working really hard to learn how to use Canvas, so they're making some really great lessons for you, and they can show you how to get on there. Also, if you can get to Canvas at home, so we'll be sending directions home to your parents so that they can see what is going on in your classrooms. So you'll have to work hard to remember your username and password so that you can get logged in and show your folks that at home as well. Thank you for watching the video, and let your teachers or I know if you have any questions or need any help.